I've figured out how to make almost anything in the Star Wars universe minifigure scale if you're building it in Lego. And how, you may ask, did I figure that out? Well, it all involves two things. First being the one specific scene from The Empire Strikes Back where the Millennium Falcon hides on the back of the Star Destroyer, and this. Well, not this exactly, the UCS Millennium Falcon. Allow me to elaborate while using my Playscale Millennium Falcon and my Playscale Star Destroyer. First things first, if we take that scene that I mentioned earlier, then we can see that the Millennium Falcon hides on the back part of the bridge. Like, it hides right there, and it's actually pretty small compared to the back of the head of this. Now, I know what you're thinking. That probably doesn't help us at all to make a minifigure scale everything. But that's where you're wrong. Because we only really need to figure out the Star Destroyer at minifigure scale to figure out most other things. And I know I just said the Millennium Falcon. The Millennium Falcon is basically the key to all of this. Allow me to demonstrate. So, if I take the Millennium Falcon like this, and someone takes the UCS one and puts it on the ground like this, and you can put the image like right beside it so they can have a side-by-side view of the scene image and this thing right here. So then they can use that to template around where the Falcon, or like where the minifigure part of the bridge, like minifigure scale part of the back of the bridge would be. And using that, you could like make a bunch of plates and then make a minifigure scale bridge and then use some other information and even the play scale one here to figure out the measurements of the rest of the Star Destroyer. And yeah, that is pretty cool, I think, that I discovered. But still, that's only finding minifigure scale of the Star Destroyer. But you're also incorrect there, because there's a scene in the first Star Wars movie where the Millennium Falcon goes into the hangar bay of the Death Star, and since the Death Star has that like line like down the middle of it, you know what I'm talking about, you can compare the size of the UCS Millennium Falcon, or at least you can compare the size of the Falcon to like the slit in the middle of the Death Star, and you can like compare the Millennium Falcon to that, and then use the UCS Millennium Falcon to template out where that one slit would be inside of the Death Star. Therefore, you could theoretically build a minifigure scale Death Star. But why stop there? We can also, by using the ending scene in Empire Strikes Back, we can use that to find out the minifigure scale of the Doctor ship, like the Nebulon frigate or whatever it's called, the Doctor ship where Luke gets a new hand. Because there is a scene where the Millennium Falcon is like touched, like under, like attached to it, like one of these like balls things back here, or circle things, are attached to the Nebulon frigate over, I keep forgetting what it's called, the Doctor ship. And you can also use that and the UCS Millennium Falcon, and you can again take the picture and compare and see if you can like build the rest of the frigate. And if you could probably find more side by sides of the Star Destroyer with some things, of the Millennium Falcon with some things, and theoretically you could make minifigure scale of any Lego set ever, only using that one Empire Strikes Back scene and the UCS Millennium Falcon.